The internet is on fire right now, and fans cannot believe what they've just witnessed. A shocking new video has surfaced online, one that's left the Harris family in absolute chaos. King Harris, the outspoken and often controversial son of rap legend T.I. and Tiny Harris, is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. But this time, it's not about his wild antics, viral confrontations, or bold social media statements. No, this is something far more personal, raw, and heartbreaking. The kind of drama that even reality TV couldn't script. According to sources close to the family, King was recently seen in tears after a clip began circulating online that allegedly proves the baby everyone thought was his might not be his after all. That's right. The internet is buzzing, fans are divided, and whispers of betrayal are shaking the very core of Atlanta's most talked about family. In the video, King's world seems to crumble in real time as he confronts a painful truth, one that not only threatens his image but also exposes deep fractures within the Harris household. How did this all begin? Who leaked the footage? And most importantly, what does this mean for King, his so-called girlfriend, and the baby caught in the middle of this storm? Stay tuned, because what happens next will leave you speechless. The chaos began quietly, almost innocently. Just a few cryptic posts on social media, a couple of whispers from so-called insiders, and suddenly the internet was boiling with speculation. People thought it was just another one of King Harris's viral moments. It's the kind where he says something wild or gets into a heated exchange online. But this time, the tone felt different. There was something darker, more emotional in the air. It wasn't the kind of drama that fades in a few days. It was the kind that breaks families apart. According to several people close to the situation, King had been living in what he thought was a happy, if somewhat messy, relationship with his girlfriend Nia. She wasn't a celebrity, but she had gained quite a following after appearing in a few of King's live videos. Fans loved their chemistry, their loud arguments, their playful teasing, their passionate makeups. They seemed young, reckless, and in love. So when news broke a few months ago that Nia was pregnant, the internet exploded. People joked that little King Jr. was on the way, and even T.I. had made a few proud comments about becoming a grandfather. It all looked like a new chapter for the Harris family, one that showed growth and maturity from King, who'd long been seen as the family's most unpredictable child. But behind the cameras, tension was brewing. Insiders claimed King had started noticing strange behavior from Nia. Late-night phone calls, secretive texts, and sudden mood swings. At first, he brushed it off. He wanted to believe her. He wanted to trust that the mother of his child was being honest. But the seed of doubt had been planted. And in King's world, where pride means everything, those doubts started to eat him alive. Then came the video. No one knows exactly who recorded it, but within hours, it was everywhere. The clip, just under a minute long, showed Nia at a party, sitting far too close to another man someone fans quickly identified as Trey, a local rapper and friend of King's. In the video, Nia is seen whispering into Trey's ear before kissing him on the cheek. It wasn't explicit, but it was enough to send shockwaves across social media. The captions were brutal. This the same girl who said, "King's the father? That baby looking more like Trey every day." Hashtags like #KingExposed and #NotYourBaby started trending on Twitter and Instagram. Within hours, King's name was everywhere. At first, King stayed silent. Fans assumed he was ignoring the drama. But behind closed doors, chaos was unfolding. One of King's closest friends later revealed that when he saw the video, King smashed his phone against the wall. He didn't believe what he was seeing. He wanted to think it was fake. Maybe edited, maybe a misunderstanding. But deep down, something inside him knew. He called Nia immediately. According to leaked audio that surfaced later, their phone conversation was heated. "Tell me the truth, Nia," King said, his voice shaking. "Is that baby mine or not?" Nia hesitated, crying, pleading with him to calm down. "You're overreacting," she said. "It's not what it looks like." But King wasn't buying it. "Everybody saw the video," he shouted. You sitting with Trey, whispering in his ear, and you telling me it's nothing? The call ended abruptly, and King reportedly stormed out of the house. Witnesses said he was driving aimlessly around Atlanta for hours, blasting music and ignoring calls from family and friends. He later showed up at his mother Tiny's house, visibly shaken and refusing to speak. T.I., known for his strict, fatherly tone, furious not just at Nia, but at the whole situation. "We don't do this kind of mess in this family," he was heard saying. "We handle our business with dignity." But King wasn't in the mood for lectures. "You don't understand," he snapped back. "This is my life, my kid." Tiny, ever the peacemaker, tried to calm the situation. She hugged her son, telling him to take a breath, to wait until he knew the full truth. "You can't believe everything you see online," she said softly. "Let's get the facts first. That for King, the damage was already done. His pride was shattered. The world was laughing. Memes were circulating everywhere, some mocking him, others showing fake DNA test results claiming Trey was the real father. It was cruel, and it was relentless. The following day, King went live on Instagram. His eyes were swollen, his voice heavy. Fans immediately flooded the comments, asking if the rumors were true. He didn't say much at first, just sat there in silence, shaking his head. Then, finally, he spoke. "Y'all think this funny?" he asked quietly. "Y'all think I'm just some clown to laugh at? I love that girl. I took care of her. I believed that baby was mine." His voice cracked mid-sentence, and he turned away from the camera for a moment, wiping his face. The live quickly went viral, with clips being shared on every platform. People couldn't believe what they were seeing King Harris. Usually loud and confident, broken and emotional. The internet response was mixed. Some fans showed sympathy, calling the situation heartbreaking and unfair. Others were ruthless, accusing him of ignoring red flags and calling it karma for his previous arrogance. The family tried to do damage control. But the story was too big to contain, T. I released a brief statement through a family representative, saying our family appreciates the love and concern, but we ask for privacy while we deal with this matter. Of course, that only made people more curious. Behind the scenes, King demanded a DNA test. He told Nia he wouldn't rest until he knew the truth. According to those close to the couple, Nia initially resisted, saying she didn't want their personal life to become a public spectacle. But King wasn't backing down. "If you've got nothing to hide," he told her, "you shouldn't be scared of a test." Eventually, Nia agreed, but tension between them grew unbearable. Friends say King barely slept during that week. Every time his phone buzzed, he jumped. Every notification felt like another punch to the gut. Meanwhile, Trethaman, at the center of the scant, added fuel to the fire. He posted a cryptic Instagram story showing himself holding a baby bottle with the caption, "Real, recognize real." The post was deleted within minutes, but screenshots spread like wildfire. Fans flooded his comments, accusing him of taunting King. Trey denied it later, claiming it was a misunderstanding, but few believed him. Tiny reportedly reached out to Nia privately, hoping to mediate. She wanted to avoid a full-blown public meltdown, but by then it was too late. King had already gone on a second live, this time more emotional than before. "I don't care what anybody says," he told his viewers. "If that baby turns out not to be mine, I'm done. I'm cutting everybody off." As the world waited for the DNA results, the atmosphere in the Harris household grew tense. T.I. tried to distract himself by focusing on work, while Tiny spent most of her time checking on King, worried about his mental state. "He's always been strong-willed," she confided to a close friend, but this broke him. The video that started it all kept circulating, drawing millions of views. Blogs dissected every frame, gossip channels posted daily updates. And online detectives claimed to have found proof that Nia and Trey had been secretly seeing each other for months. King's name stayed in the headlines, but this time, for reasons that made him wish he could disappear, and then, just as things seemed like they couldn't get any worse, a new clip emerged, one that would change everything. The second clip hit the internet like a bomb. It was longer, clearer, and far more damaging than the first one. This time, Naya and Trey were seen in what appeared to be a hotel hallway, laughing and holding hands. The video was timestamped just weeks before Nia announced her. Pregnancy. Fans immediately went into detective mode, matching Nia's outfit to old Instagram posts and confirming the date through background details. Within hours, the narrative changed completely. This wasn't just a rumor anymore. It looked like hard proof. King was asleep when his phone began to blow up again. Friends, cousins, even people he hadn't spoken to in years were messaging him with screenshots. One of his cousins said that when he finally woke up and saw the messages, he just sat there in silence for several minutes staring at his screen. Then he muttered under his breath, "Nah, this can't be real." But deep down, he knew it was. His reaction was explosive. He went straight to Nia's place, reportedly banging on her door and shouting her name. Neighbors later told reporters they heard yelling and crying for nearly half an hour. When Nia finally opened the door, she was visibly shaken. "Why you keep doing this?" she said, her voice trembling. "You're making it worse." But King wasn't listening. "Tell me the truth," he demanded, his voice cracking with emotion. "Was it Trey? Were you with him while you were with me?" Nia tried to deny it at first, saying the video was old, that people were twisting things. But King wasn't buying it. "That's the same outfit you wore when you told me you was going to your cousin's party," he shouted. "You lied to me, Nia. You lied straight to my face." Inside the apartment, the baby's toys and clothes were scattered everywhere. That only made it harder for him to process. He picked up a small onesie from the couch and stared at it. "I was ready to give you everything," he whispered. "And you did this to me?" The argument reportedly ended with King storming out, slamming the door behind him. Not long after, paparazzi caught him sitting alone in his car outside a fast food restaurant, his head buried in his hands. The photo went viral instantly. Fans flooded social media with messages of support, calling him too real for this fake world and a young man who just loved the wrong person. Others weren't as kind, accusing him of exploiting his own heartbreak for attention. But one thing was certain: everyone was watching, back at the Harris household. The situation was reaching a boiling point. T.I. was furious about the growing media circus. "This family name means something," he reportedly said during a tense family meeting. "We can't be out here looking like a joke." But Tiny defended their son. "He's hurting Tip," she said softly. "He's not thinking about fame right now. He's thinking about his heart." Even some of King's siblings began to weigh in. Damani, the quieter brother, posted a cryptic tweet that read, "Not everyone who smiles with you is for you." Fans immediately took it as a dig at Nia and Trey. Zonique, their older sister, shared an Instagram story that simply said, "Protect your peace." Clearly, the family was standing behind King, even if they couldn't control the chaos. Meanwhile, Trey decided to do an interview. Sitting in a dimly lit studio, he smirked as he told the host, "Man, people out here making up stories. Me and Nia, we cool, but ain't nothing serious." When asked directly if he thought the baby could be his, he paused for a moment before saying, "Anything's possible, but I ain't claiming nothing till I see a test." This clip sent fans into a frenzy. Did he just admit it? People tweeted, "He sounds way too confident." The internet turned into a war zone. Team King versus Team Trey. Gossip blogs released daily updates, each one more dramatic than the last. Even celebrities began commenting. One Atlanta rapper tweeted, "Hate to see young kings go through this. Women be wild in." Another influencer posted, "If you've got to question the baby, you already know the answer." Through it all, King tried to stay quiet, but the pressure was suffocating. Sources close to him said he barely ate or slept. He kept replaying the videos, looking for any sign that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't what it looked like. But every time reality hit harder. He confided in a friend, saying, "It's not even about the baby anymore. It's about the fact that I loved her and she played me in front of the whole world." Days later, the DNA test results finally came in. According to a leaked text exchange that made its way online, King had gone to the clinic alone. No cameras, no entourage, just him. When he opened the envelope and saw the results, he reportedly froze. The baby was not his Dot. What happened next only added more fuel to the fire. Within hours, King went live again, this time from his car, his voice shaking with anger and pain. "I just got the results," he said, staring straight into the camera. "And nah, that baby ain't mine." Fans were stunned. His comment section exploded. "Stay strong, King," one fan wrote. "You didn't deserve this." Another said, "Bro should have listened to his mama." But the live didn't stop there. King began speaking directly to Naya, his tone turning from heartbreak to fury. "You had the world thinking I was a dad," he said. "You let me hold that baby, feed that baby, post that baby, and it wasn't even mine. You're evil for that." As soon as he ended the stream, the internet went wild. Major gossip outlets reposted clips, influencers reacted. And hashtags like #KingBetrayed and #NotTheFather started trending. Even celebrities like Boosie and Lil Scrappy jumped into the conversation. Offering words of support, Nia, however, wasn't staying silent. Later that night, she posted a long Instagram story saying, "Everybody quick to judge, but nobody knows the full story. Me and King were not exclusive when I got pregnant. I told him that. He wanted to step up anyway." She went on to accuse him of using the situation for clout and said she had been bullied nonstop. Since the scandal broke, her post only made things worse. Fans began digging up old clips of the couple together, pointing out moments where Naya clearly said King was the father. Others defended her, saying she was being unfairly attacked by millions of strangers. The comment sections turned into battlefields, with both sides throwing accusations and insults. Through all this, Tiny tried to hold her family together. She called King every morning, reminding him to keep his head high. "You're still my baby," she told him during one of their calls. "Don't let this break you." But King was spiraling. He felt betrayed, humiliated, and exposed. A few days later, paparazzi caught him at a gas station looking exhausted. When a reporter shouted King, "Any comment about Naya?" he just looked at the camera and said quietly, "She knows what she did." Back at home, T.I. was struggling to keep calm. He told close friends that he wanted to confront Trey personally, but decided against it to avoid more headlines. Instead, he focused on supporting his son. "This ain't about fame," he told one interviewer. "It's about family. And when one of ours hurts, we all hurt." The story took another turn when someone leaked alleged text messages between Naya and Trey, showing them talking flirtatiously while she was still with King. One message read, "He think the baby his." But you know the truth. Whether the texts were real or not, they spread fast enough to destroy whatever was left of Naya's reputation. King, meanwhile, started deleting old photos of Nia and the baby from his Instagram. Fans noticed immediately, and blogs picked it up, calling it the digital breakup heard around the world. It was clear he was done, but the pain in his posts and his eyes said it all. He might have deleted the pictures, but he couldn't erase the memories. And just when everyone thought the storm was finally calming down, King received a call that would turn everything upside down again. The call came late at night, when the city was quiet and the only sound in King's room was the low hum of his TV. He had been scrolling aimlessly through his phone, ignoring the hundreds of notifications that refused to stop. Then, out of nowhere, his phone rang. The name flashing on the screen made his heart drop. Nia. For a long moment, he just stared at it, torn between anger and curiosity. Finally, he answered. Her voice was trembling. "King, please, can we talk? Just one last time." He hesitated, his voice cold. "What could you possibly have to say to me now?" "It's not what you think," she whispered. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I swear I didn't." King laughed bitterly. "Yeah, that's what everybody says after they get caught. Please," she begged, "just meet me. There's something I need to show you." Against his better judgment, he agreed. Maybe it was closure, maybe it was curiosity, but part of him still wanted answers. He drove to the spot she mentioned, quiet park on the edge of Atlanta where they used to hang out when things were good between them. The night air was heavy, and as he pulled up, he saw her waiting by the swings, who'd pulled over her head, holding a folder in her hand. "What is that?" he asked as he approached, keeping his distance. "It's proof," she said quietly, "about everything." She handed him the folder. Inside were photos, messages, and what looked like receipts from the clinic where the DNA test had been done. "They switched the samples," she said quickly, her voice shaking. "I think someone tampered with it." King frowned. "What are you talking about? Who would do that?" "I don't know," she whispered, "but I got a call from someone saying the results were fake. They told me I needed to see you before it's too late." For a few seconds, King just stared at her. Part of him wanted to believe it. Maybe the test was wrong. Maybe the baby really was his. But another part of him couldn't ignore the pattern every time he caught her in a lie. There was always another story, another excuse. "You expect me to believe that?" he said finally. "You think I'm that stupid?" Tears streamed down her face. "I'm not lying, King. I messed up. I admit that. But the baby might still be yours." The tension between them was suffocating. King didn't say a word. He just turned, got back in his car, and drove away. Behind him, Nia collapsed onto the swing, sobbing quietly, the next morning. Gossip blogs had already caught wind of the meeting. Someone had recorded them from a distance and posted the blurry video online. Captions like "Nia and King caught meeting in secret" and "Are they getting back together?" flooded social media. Fans were confused. Had they reconciled? Was the baby his after all? Everyone wanted answers. T.I. was furious when he found out. He called King into his home office and shut the door. "Son, you gotta stop letting this girl drag you into the mud," he said, his voice stern but worried. "She's playing you like a fiddle, and the world is watching." King slumped into the chair, rubbing his temples. "But what if she's telling the truth?" he muttered. "What if the test really was wrong?" T.I. sighed. "You can take another test, but you gotta think about your peace of mind. How many times you gonna let her break you?" Tiny, standing quietly in the corner, added softly, "Sometimes love makes you blind, baby, but pain should make you see." That line hit him hard. He decided to take another DNA test, this time through a different clinic, one his family trusted. He didn't tell Nia. He just went in quietly, handed over the samples, and left. The waiting period felt endless. Every minute dragged like an hour. Meanwhile, the media circus only got louder. Some people believed Nia's story, saying the first test must have been tampered with. Others called it damage control, claiming she was lying again to stay relevant. In the middle of all this, Trey broke his silence again. He went live on Instagram saying, "Man, I don't even care about none of that. If the baby's mine, I'll take care of it. But all this drama, that's on them." Smirk as he spoke enraged fans. One commenter wrote, "You smiling while this man's heart breaking? Disgusting." Another said, "Bro just loves the attention." King saw the clip and lost it. "He think this funny?" He tweeted, "I'll see him real soon." Within minutes, his post went viral, and fans started speculating there would be a physical confrontation. T.I. had to step in again, telling his son to stay calm and reminding him that fighting fools don't fix the truth. Then, the second test results came in. This time, the clinic called him directly. "Mr. Harris," the nurse said gently, "we've confirmed that you are the biological father." For a moment, King couldn't breathe. It felt like the world had stopped spinning. "So the first one was wrong?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "We can't speak for the other clinic," the nurse replied. "But based on our verified results, you are indeed the father." He hung up the phone, his mind spinning. He didn't know whether to cry, scream, or laugh. He had wanted the baby to be his deep down. He really had, but now that he knew the truth, it didn't feel like a victory. It felt heavy, complicated, almost unbearable. He called Nia, his tone subdued. "I got the new results," he said quietly. There was silence on the other end, then a soft sob. "I told you," she whispered. "I told you, King." But instead of feeling relief, he felt anger. "You've lied so many times," he said. "Even if this baby's mine, how can I ever trust you again?" She begged him to come over, to see the baby, to start over. But King couldn't bring himself to do it. "I need time," he said simply, then hung up when Ti found out he didn't know what to say. "So the baby's yours after all?" he asked, shaking his head. This whole mess for nothing. Tiny hugged her son, trying to comfort him, but he just stood there, distant. "Nothing's the same anymore," he said. "I can't even look at her without thinking about all the lies." The internet exploded once the news leaked. Fans who had mocked Naya before suddenly changed their tune. "She was right the whole time," they wrote. "King owes her an apology." Others still didn't buy it, saying the new test was staged to clean up their image. No matter what anyone believed, one thing was clear: the story wasn't over. A week later, Naya posted a photo of the baby with the caption, "The truth always comes out." Kay didn't like or comment on it, but he saw it. He stared at the baby's face, and for the first time, he saw himself. The same eyes, the same little smirk. Something inside him cracked. Maybe love wasn't gone, it was just buried under all the pain. That night, he went to see the baby. Naya opened the door quietly, eyes puffy from crying. "You came?" she whispered. "Yeah," he said softly, stepping inside. "He's my son. I had to." The baby was asleep, tiny fingers curled into fists. King stood there for a long time, just watching. When the baby stirred and opened his eyes, something in King's heart shifted. The anger, the humiliation, the heartbreak didn't disappear, but it softened. Nia stood beside him, whispering, "I'm sorry for everything." He didn't respond. He just nodded, still staring at his son. But outside that house, the storm was still raging. New rumors were spreading, claims that the second test might have been forged, that someone was paid off to protect the family's image. No one knew what to believe anymore. And just when King thought he might finally find peace, another shocking revelation surfaced, one that would throw everything into chaos again. A week after King visited Naya and the baby, the internet once again began to whisper. At first it was quiet, just a few cryptic posts, a few screenshots being shared in private group chats. But in a matter of hours, it exploded across social media like wildfire. A former employee from the second clinic had come forward with claims that the results of King's second DNA test might have been tampered with. The post was vague, but one line stood out and set the internet ablaze. "Let's just say money can make science bend." Suddenly, everything that had just started to calm down reignited into chaos. Gossip blogs began publishing headlines like, "Was King Harris lied to again?" And "Did the Harris family buy the truth?" Fans didn't know what to believe anymore. One minute, King was a betrayed young father reclaiming his strength, and the next, people were accusing him and his family of covering up the truth. When King saw the rumors, he felt his stomach twist. "Not again," he muttered, throwing his phone onto the couch. He had barely started to heal. And now it felt like the wound was being ripped open all over again. Tiny was the first to sense that something was wrong. She found him sitting in the dark living room, staring blankly at the TV. "Baby, you okay?" she asked softly, sitting beside him. He shook his head. "They saying the test was fake. Now? They saying we paid somebody off." Tiny sighed deeply, her eyes full of worry. "You know how people are, King. They don't want to see you happy. Don't let them steal your peace." But King wasn't at peace, not even close. He grabbed his jacket and stormed out, ignoring Tiny's calls to come back. He drove straight to Nia's house, his mind spinning. When she opened the door, she looked scared, almost guilty. "You saw it too, didn't you?" he asked, his voice trembling. "I did," she said quietly. "But you know it's not true. I didn't do anything." "You didn't," he said bitterly. "But what about that clinic? What if they lied? What if I believed another lie again?" "King, please," she said, stepping closer. "Don't let the internet get in your head again. You saw the results yourself." He took a deep breath. "Then let's do one more. Somewhere private. No leaks, No cameras. Just us. She nodded slowly. Okay. They went the very next day. A small clinic outside the city, far away from the noise of the media. No one knew except the two of them. They handed over the samples in silence, neither making eye contact. It felt like the last test wasn't just about the baby, was about trust, about closure, about whether the story would finally end or spiral even further. For the next few days, King went completely silent online. No posts, no stories, no lives. Fans began speculating again, wondering if the silence meant something bad. Even T.I. and Tiny kept quiet, hoping the lack of attention might calm things down. But instead, the internet just got louder. A week later, the new results arrived. This time, King didn't go alone. He asked T.I. to come with him. When they sat down in the small office, the nurse looked at them both and said quietly, "Mr. Harris, this test confirms that you are not the biological father." The words hit him like a punch to the chest. For a long time, he didn't move. T.I. reached over, placing a hand on his son's shoulder. But King just stared straight ahead. So all this time, he whispered. She lied again. On the drive home, he didn't speak. His phone buzzed, constantly Naya calling, texting, begging to explain, but he ignored every message. Once he got home, he walked straight to his room, shut the door, and for the first time in weeks, let himself break down completely. Tiny stood outside his door, tears in her own eyes, listening to her son's muffled sobs. "He's just a boy, Tip," she whispered to her husband. "He's just a boy who got his heart broken too young." T.I. clenched his jaw, his voice low. She played with his soul, Tiny, and that's something money or fame can't fix. By that evening, the news had already leaked. Fans were stunned. Blogs posted the headline, "Final DNA results confirm baby not King Harris's." Social media erupted with reactions. "That poor boy," one fan tweeted. "This girl dragged him through hell," another wrote. "So the second test was fake, after all. This is insane." Nia tried to defend herself on Instagram Live, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't know," she insisted. "I swear I didn't. I thought he was the father. I'm sorry, but the damage was done." The internet wasn't forgiving. Her comments filled with backlash, people calling her manipulative, heartless, a liar. King, meanwhile, went off the grid completely. He deleted his social media accounts and stopped answering calls. Even his closest friends couldn't reach him. One of them later told an outlet he just needed to disappear for a while. The whole world watched him fall apart. He needed space to breathe again. Weeks passed in silence. The story began to fade from headlines, replaced by newer scandals and viral moments. But inside the Harris home, the wounds were still fresh. T.I. tried to encourage his son to channel the pain into music, telling him real artists turn pain into purpose. Tiny focused on healing her son's heart, reminding him that love could still exist even after betrayal. Then one afternoon, out of nowhere, King reappeared online. A short video appeared on his Instagram, just him sitting in his studio, the glow of the mixing board lighting his face. "I've been quiet for a while," he said slowly, his voice calm but heavy. "Everybody got their opinions, everybody got their jokes. But what I went through wasn't entertainment to me. It was real. It was pain. And I learned something sometimes you gotta lose everything to find yourself." He paused, looking straight into the camera. "Yeah, I found out that baby wasn't mine. And yeah, it hurt more than anything I ever felt. But I'm not broken. I'm wiser now. I know who's real and who's not. And from here on out, I'm protecting my peace." The video went viral immediately. Fans flooded the comments with support. "This is growth," one wrote. "He's turning pain into power." Another said, "Proud of you, King. You came out stronger." Even celebrities commented, applauding his maturity. But what caught everyone's attention wasn't just his words, it was the sound playing faintly in the background. A soft melody from an unreleased track. Lyrics leaked later revealed it was a song about betrayal, fatherhood, and forgiveness. It was raw, emotional, and deeply personal. In just a few hours, it became one of the most anticipated releases of his young career. Behind the scenes, I couldn't hide his pride. "That's my son," he told a close friend. "He fell, but he got back up. That's what makes a man." As the dust finally began to settle, King started appearing in public, again performing, smiling, slowly finding his footing. Fans noticed he looked calmer, more grounded. He never mentioned Nia again, never spoke about the baby, and never addressed the rumors that followed. He just let the music speak for him. In the months that followed, the world moved on. But the story remained etched in the minds of fans as one of the most dramatic, heartbreaking, and unforgettable moments in celebrity history. The betrayal, the lies, the confusion, the love that turned into chaos, it all became part of King's legend. And while the truth had torn him apart, it had also rebuilt him. Because in the end, what broke him didn't define him, it transformed him. The internet, as always, kept talking. But King Harris, once known for his loud personality and wild behavior, had grown quiet in the best way possible. His silence spoke volumes, and somewhere in the background of it all, his new song began climbing the charts, haunting reminder that sometimes, even the deepest heartbreak can turn into the most powerful story of all. And just like that, the whirlwind that started with one viral video came full circle. From love and betrayal to confusion and truth. King Harris's story became one of the most talked about sagas in the world of hip-hop families. It had everything: passion, heartbreak, lies, redemption, and most of all, a young man learning who he really was under the harsh light of fame. But even now, fans are left wondering, was the final DNA test really the truth? Did Nia ever tell King everything she knew? And what about Trey? Did he ever step up? Or did he vanish when the cameras turned off? Some believe there's still more to this story hidden behind closed doors, waiting for the next leak. The next video, the next twist that will set the internet on fire again. For now, King has chosen peace. He's focusing on his music, his family, and his future. But deep down, everyone can feel it. This story isn't completely over. Maybe it never will be. Because when the world of celebrity and real life collide, there's always another secret waiting to surface, another emotion ready to explode, and another headline ready to dominate social media. What do you think really happened behind the scenes? Do you believe Nia's version, or do you think King's right to walk away for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we want to hear what you think. Make sure you hit that like button if you've been following this emotional roller coaster from the start. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next shocking twist in this ongoing saga. Trust us, if you thought this was wild, what's coming next might just break the internet all over again. Stay tuned, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.